gentlemen, welcome back to the His channel. Today is such a privilege because sitting next to me is Harvinder, also my good friend, the Director of LUSH Malaysia. We're doing the interview today. How are you today, Harvinder?
I'm good. Thank you so much for having us. It's a pleasure, especially in our store here in Gurney Paragon in Penang. It's an honor actually. Thank you so much, Ming.
Thank you for taking this interview together with us. Today we're going to talk about your brand, LUSH, right? But you are the person who bring this brand to Malaysia. How did that happen?
Generally, like I said, that happened in probably about 2016, 2017. So it's a process, I would say, because a lot of people do and have applied to bring the brand across. But nevertheless, it took a little bit of time for LUSH UK to see who's their right partner. And at that time, years ago, they felt that Malaysia was not really ready for it. But eventually, in 2016, 2017, when I spoke to them, they felt that, okay, I'm one of the lucky ones, I would say, out of probably about 300 over applicants that applied to bring the brand into Malaysia. And I'm the selected one. So I must thank my principal for that, and also your good self to having us here, which is excellent.
Yeah, I mean, let us reverse a little bit and let's tell people what this brand LUSH is all about. I understand that this brand has 6 very meaningful values that is attached behind under the LUSH Ethical Center. Can you elaborate on that?
Sure, no problem. So generally we have our 6 values, which is very core and important for our brand. As you can see, firstly, it's all handmade. What the unique part about LUSH is, every product is packed or handmade by an individual. You can see their visual on our products. So all of them. So it's quite interesting, right? Their names are also there. So it makes it very unique for each and every one of our products. So that's core because it's all handmade. Number 2 is, of course, we're against animal testing. As you can see our bags, we've got all the profiles of against animal testing because there's no need to do testing on animals. And we encourage more and more cosmetic industries and anyone else because our DNA is totally different than the animals. Since LUSH uses more natural ingredients and we don't need to worry about testing it on human volunteers, and that's what LUSH is doing. It's a success case, so we appreciate if more brands and more people can follow suit. Third is being vegetarian. We are completely vegetarian and we are quite proud to say now we are at 95% being vegan, and I believe we will achieve the principle, will achieve 100% soon. It's just a matter of time. And ethical buying, which is very, very important because a lot of suppliers, we normally buy the principle and we'll buy from fair trade suppliers to ensure no child labor and no one is being deprived of their payment, etc. Why? As you know, sometimes production of mica, it comes from the mines and they get children to go down, which is very dangerous. So these are the small things that some people may think it's small, but it's very, very dangerous to our working community. So ethical buying is very important. And naked. When we say naked means, of course, everyone thinks otherwise, but naked is like probably like our bath bombs where it's not packed. So LUSH has got various stores in Europe where the entire store is naked. Probably in this country, it can be a bit challenging because of our weather. It may melt certain products. But naked is called, we are around 64-65% in our product in store is naked. And not forgetting, if we do package them like this or in our bottles, our entire materials from caps to the bottles, they are all made from recycling. We'll talk more about that later. And finally is fresh products. So fresh is one of this, very good example, which we have the fresh face mask. Of course, more freshness, which is made weekly and couriered to Malaysia. Why? To ensure that the products are very fresh. So when we do this, after a week we take it off to ensure that our customers buy something fresh, and it's always good for them because if we don't, then it just defeats our value of our freshness. So I guess that's the core in terms of our 6 values for LUSH Malaysia.
Share with us, how does the retail scene in Penang taking the brand LUSH so far? Are you happy?
Oh yes, of course, we're very happy. Actually, first thing we would like to just rewind a little bit. As we started in 2018 in Kuala Lumpur, that has been a huge success. And we believe that it will do well in Penang. So Penang is our 3rd store, and we're very fortunate to have it in Gurney Paragon, as the landlord has, being a close friend and also a landlord, they've given us very prime location in the center court itself, and it actually created more vendors for us, and more Penang nights are coming in. And we are very, very happy. Prime location, prime crowd, prime mall, and there's nothing more we can ask for. Now, if you're talking about the retail scene in Penang, I'm actually quite impressed. We've done very well from the time we opened, because we opened in 2020, I believe, in October, end of October, November, and it was during the pandemic, I would say, the COVID pandemic, and sales were very phenomenal until January in 21, where they had the shutdown, and of course everyone detached a little bit. But I guess that was across the retail scene in Penang as well. But the moment the borders opened and the MCOs were over, we were back to normal. And of course then the major lockdown again in June, July, August, September. And then we opened our doors again in Penang. I believe Penang was the first for us to open after the third lockdown. And the sales started picking up, and year end we were too good, so we didn't have stocks. So your retail scene is absolutely good in Penang.
Fantastic.
And we're very happy. I guess we've got no complaints coming to this part, which is catering to the Northern Territory, not only to Penang nights, but also to South, Northern or Perak, Kedah, Perlis, and also the Langkawians, because they have the ferry facilities. And so we're very happy. I think it's a good catchment for us in this region. Yeah.
Right. Lush and Penang, I think it's really a match made in heaven. Why do I say that? Well, in Penang, this state is actually known as one of the most environmentally conscious state in Malaysia, having introduced the No Plastic Bag initiative. And we also have a state agency called the Penang Green Council, dedicated to green initiatives. And Penang also has the highest rate in terms of recycling in Malaysia. So in fact, Lush at Gurney Paragon Mall is having a collaboration with the Penang Green Council. All right. So if you like to find out anything about this collaboration, come into Lush at Gurney Paragon Mall. The staff here will be happy to explain to you what are the campaigns, what are the collaboration the state government and Lush is collaborating. Next comes the most interesting part of the interview, right? I know Lush has got hundreds or even thousands of products. It's a huge selection. Can you recommend to us which ones are your favorite?
Excellent. Actually, everything is my favorite. But of course I go by routine, end of the day, right? So of course now with our mask on and everything, I think for a woman the most important is our crowning glory, which is our hair. So I have a routine for my hair, which is, of course we all dye our hair to look prettier and blonder and etc. So for my hair, I will go for my hair care routine, which I prepared here. So I use my Rehab. This is my shampoo. It's good for colored or damaged hair. It moisturizes wet hair. And then by the American Cream conditioner, because it really gains back all my nutrition and it makes it more healthier for my hair after my shower. And then it's the leave-in conditioner, which is the Super Milk. It's got a bit of coconut base as well in it, and it's very moisturizing. And if I go out in the sun, etc., then I spray a bit of sea spray. And I do a lot of activities by the beach. I do snorkeling, I do diving, so this is very helpful for me. And I have my weekly routine, which I use the Hua Hen Hua, because this is the end of the day that makes my hair pretty, as you can see. Yours too is big. Yeah, for sure. So in my hair category, I would say this is it. But nevertheless, our skincare is also very, very important. So we've got various sorts of skincare to cater to different skin texture and how you want to feel for the day. So for my cleansers, I use the Angels Angels on Bare Skin. And moisturizer, we have our #1 gorgeous one, which I wish it would suit me, but for me, my Enzion is it. So because it's very rich in papaya and it just absorbed into my skin, and because I've got a dual skin sort of thing where it's oily and also dry, so this helps and it just gets absorbed very fast. So I want to make sure that I look gorgeous, okay?
I'm sure you do.
But of course, before that, once I generally cleanse, this is my toner. I love the tea tree toner because I find it very refreshing, and of course, it's very, it absorbs up all my oil. And for my eyes, I would normally use the Enchanted eye cream. And finally, because of the stress of work that we always have today with store shutting, opening, unpacking, packing, and you know, going into our expansion, I love the beauty sleep. Because it's got lavender in it, so it helps me and calms me down. So at night when I come back after doing, you know, showering and my daily routine, I just apply the mask and I just relax for about 15, 20 minutes. So this is the most important for me at this point of time because it's my entire crowning glory. There's more, of course, there's shower gels, there's the whole works, but if you're asking me about what is my most core product or what's my favorite, I would say this is my routine that I do. So this is always in my room and my bathroom.
What about these colorful products? Are these the bath bombs?
Yes, correct.
Okay.
We have bath bombs. These are bath bombs where you just put it in the bathtub and then it appears to be colors and it releases kind of aroma. Whereas this one, which is our bubble bars, these are to create more foam. But of course, this is sleepy bubble bar. It also contains a bit of lavender and makes it a bit more relaxing. So some people, they prefer bubble bars because bubble bars is a bit more foamy and you know you see the foam in the tub. But some people love colors, so bath bomb would be their options, yeah.
So those of you who are watching the H channel, make sure you come to the store here at Gurney Paragon, the LUSH store here at Gurney Paragon. The staff here, they will explain to you what are your needs and they will recommend the products that is most suited to you.
Yes, I guess our staff has been here, most of them, 80 or 90% has been here since we opened in 2020, so we've got very good staff and I believe they will give you top-notch service and we are very proud, so that's why we are here in Gurney Paragon. And likewise, also in our other LUSH stores, we won't deny that, but this is our Northern Territory, which we would like to, you know, engage more people within these states. Yeah.
Next, Harvinder, let's talk a little bit about yourself. I understand that you were previously in the aviation industry, and after that, you also spent quite a long time with a retail group. And subsequent to that, you decided to venture into business and become an entrepreneur yourself. How did that amazing journey happen?
I guess you're my mentor. So it's true, I was in the aviation industry. I went into it, not right after school, I studied a little bit. I did my diploma, then I went into the aviation industry for about 11 years to 12 years. And I would say the reason I went, of course, it's a flight attendant in our national carrier, which is Malaysian Airlines. And it's an excellent journey that I had. It's the cheapest way to see the world. That's how it started. And I was very happy because I got to travel for free, I got to see the world, and that's how I'm exposed to all of brands and, you know, people, cultures. So that went on, but I knew that I had to leave because I also studied my accountancy. So I knew I had to leave in order to go into a proper job. Otherwise, before a certain age, people don't want to employ you. That's the mindset at that time, but today it's a bit more different. And then I went into a retail industry for about 11 years. And of course, I did a little bit of marketing there, and then I did more on their business development. So of course, you know, I was working hand in hand with my directors, and then I went into leasing, not only in Malaysia, but also regionally. So that's how my profile grew in that company. Then back in 2016, I quit and I did my master's in business. So while I was doing my master's, I decided to reapproach LUSH again. And that's how it all started. So the conversation started in 2016, 2017. By then I finished my master's. It was just in time. They came over. And then the spark started in 2018. And that's when we opened up our first store. So generally that has been my journey. And obviously, so 11 years there, 11 years here. I know now you're guessing my age, but that's the fun part of it.
Next, I'm going to ask you, what are your personal values that vibe with LUSH?
That's a very interesting question. I would say probably how their values are structured. Now, of course, the main thing is their recycling campaigns, how they do things, how they address things and the importance. So I'll give you an example. In the UK, they have a green hub, where all these pots that are returned, because for every 5 pots that are returned, we give them a free face mask, right? Fresh face mask, to encourage people to return. And from there, then it's taken to a green hub and it's processed and it's crushed into pebbles again, and then it's melted and then produced pots. However, in Malaysia, we don't have that facility for now. Maybe if you have some land, we are happy to do it. Maybe, you know, Penang or someone can start and we can support it. Or So for now, in Malaysia, we have engaged with a very good recycling company, it's SPAB, in Kota Kemuning for all our stores, and where the proper way and channel of recycling. If just say even though products have expired, we send it to them, the waste is also put into drums and tanks and not wasted into the rivers, which leads to the ocean. And all the plastic containers of pots and bottles that we have is generally sent to a factory for the whole recycling process. I'll give you an example. For example, like this scarf that we have here. Here you go. It's a very pretty scarf. And this is made from a 500 ml plastic bottle. So this is a very good creation by Lush. And instead of putting it into the waste bins, it's channeled out to a scarf which people can reuse and reuse. Right. Besides our cotton, of course. This is our normal cotton scarves. So that's one point. Point two is on their deforestation, because as you can see, Lush is very much into ensuring that our orang-utan and our wildlife in the forest is protected. So they do generally support SOS in Sumatra, that's what we have done recently. So where they're going to come up with bath bombs of orang-utan to support our charity board, which we'll explain later a bit more. So the deforestation is a main focus, because if there's no forest, there's nothing for us to breathe. And finally, I would say that the vibes for what we have is, we have done recently a coral planting. That's very interesting, with Coral Crew in Lang Tengah. And that was a huge success for us, because everyone's focusing on forest, which is true. Everyone's focusing about recycling, but people are neglecting the ocean. And as you know, today coral bleaching is core, and our corals are dying because of the climate crisis that we have. The climates are increasing globally, and the corals can't take it anymore. So the coral planting was a huge success for us with Coral Crew, where we planted over 450 corals across 9 frames. So we dived, because we are lucky that my whole family dives. Yeah. So 4 of us went in, and also 2 more professional divers plus Coral Crew team, and we planted as many as we can. And despite those who are not divers, they still did their part. They went, they started planting it from the shore, but in the water, and then the divers then took it and basically helicoptered it to a deeper depth. So these are the things that it might be very small, but end of the day, we started, and we are very proud of it, because it's engaging more awareness to not only ourselves, our community, but to our future generations.
Absolutely.
And we really encourage companies, not only us, if it's something selfishly done, it's not going to benefit anybody. So we hope to set an example, and we want more and more companies to do it, more and more people, because the beneficiary is our future generations. There's no oceans, there's no sea, there's no sea life. There's no forest, there's no wildlife. So where do we live in our future? Our screens is what we're asking for. So these are generally the vibes that I felt that is very, very important. Yeah. So I'll give you an example of the charity pot. Right. This is a product that we sell in store. Most of our customers and community knows about this product. So how charity pot works is, we have it different sizes, small, and also the coins, which we have it. So they are priced individually, where the entire proceeds minus the SST, that means the tax, will be given to organizations that apply through us, so that they can use this money for the betterment of our environment or anything that's in need. So now in the case of Coral Crew, they need to buy certain machines to measure certain things in the ocean, and that's why we have collaborated with them, because the need for them to do it. Is it for Lush? No. Is it for publicity? No, but it's for our future generation. And that's very important. So our customers do support us, because the entire proceeds for Charity Pot is extended to people who are in need, or NGOs generally, that we want to work with. So, in future, if you know anybody who wants to, seek any financial contribution, and if they comply to what our requirements are, you can see that LUSH Malaysia website, and we are happy to extend. It's always something that we can also collaborate with people or NGOs that are.
Yes, that will be very meaningful. Yes. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that was Harvinder from LUSH Malaysia. Thank you for your time, and
Welcome.
especially sharing with us your personal journey and the journey of LUSH. So meaningful. I mean, one thing I learned today, it is really as a responsible consumer, when we spend, we need to do our part to protect the world, to protect the environment, so that it is sustainable for the next generation. Thank you so much for your time today.
You're most welcome, Ming. Thank you for having us as well, Lush in totality, and we are happy to, move on and see how we can help in Penang and the Northern Territory and Malaysia and whole, and also the world.
Thank you. So, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you liked our program today. That's about it for our sharing. And if you like his channel, remember to click like, share, and subscribe to his channel. We'll see you in the next episode. Goodbye.
Thank you for your time.